Good morning, everyone. My name is Kusal Pradasani, and today I'm presenting my technology and law assessment on MedLink AI and AI-powered remote healthcare startup. Basically, MedLink AI is designed to address some of the major challenges faced by the Australian healthcare system, particularly limited healthcare access in rural areas, long waiting times, increasing healthcare costs, and difficulties with continuous monitoring of chronic diseases. And the idea behind Medlink AI is to combine wearable technology, artificial intelligence, and telehealth to provide continuous patient and monitoring and support earlier medical intervention. Throughout this presentation, I'll discuss the problem, our proposed solution, target market, business model, competitors, Australian regulatory requirements, compliance risk, financial outlook, and the growth roadmap of this startup. So, starting with the agendas, the presentation is divided into several key areas. First, I'll explain the healthcare problem that MedLink AI is trying to solve. Then I'll explain how our technology works and the value it provides. After that, I'll discuss our target customers, business model, and competitors. A major part of this presentation is the Australian regulatory framework, including privacy, consumer protection, and healthcare regulation. Finally, I'll discuss compliance risk, our growth roadmap, financial outlook, and conclude with why MedLink AI has potential as an innovative, the scalable healthcare startup. And going with the problem of our startup is the first issue MedLink AI addresses is the limited access to the healthcare, particularly in rural and regional areas. Many Australians living outside major cities can experience difficulty accessing healthcare service, and this can result in delays in their diagnosis and treatment report. The second problem is long waiting list. Patient may have also to wait before they can see healthcare professional, particularly when specialist services are required. And the third problem is poor chronic disease monitoring. Patients with ongoing condition may require regular monitoring, but traditional healthcare systems are often based around the scheduled appointment rather than continuous monitoring. And finally, there is the issue of rising healthcare costs. When health problems are detected late, treatment can become more complicated and expensive. Therefore, the overall problem is that many Australians, particularly those in rural areas, can experience delayed in healthcare access. And this creates an opportunity for technology to support healthcare provider between traditional appointments. So going with the next slide, it says our startup Medlink AI, and our purpose of this startup is Medlink AI, which combines Medlink AI three main technologies: wearable technology, artificial intelligence, and telehealth. The wearable technology continues collect relevant patient information, and the AI technology analyzes the information and looks for the trend or potential warning signs. Patient can also receive the recommendation and support through the platform. And the mission of our startup, MedLink AI, is proactive healthcare using AI wearable technology and telehealth. The goal is not to replace doctor, rather than the goal is to provide the doctor with additional information that can help them make timely healthcare decision. So going with the slide number 5 says how it works and how our startup's MedLink AI is work. So the first, the wearable collects the data, and the patient's wearable devices provided continuous information that can be monitored throughout the platform. And second is AI analysis trend. The artificial intelligence system analyzes the information and looks for the unusual pattern or potential health risks, and it notifies the doctor. And thirdly, the doctors receive the alert. If the system identifies information that require attention, healthcare professionals and can be notified. So going with the number 4, patient receive recommendation. Based on the information and professional oversight, patient can receive recommendation and appropriate follow-up, which creates a continuous cycle between the patient, technology, and healthcare provider. The key benefit of our startup is that healthcare provider can potentially identify health risk earlier and provide timely treatment before conditions become more serious. So going with the next slide, it is value proposition of our startup. MedLink AI has three major value propositions. The first is early detection. With continuous monitoring may allow potential health risk to be identified earlier than traditional appointment-based monitoring. And the second is lower cost. If the healthcare provider can identify and address problem earlier, there is potential to reduce unnecessary hospital admissions and healthcare costs. And the third is better patient outcome. Patient can receive more proactive monitoring and potential faster intervention throughout our startup, which is Medlink AI. Therefore, Medlink AI aims to improve the healthcare efficiency while also improving the patient experience and quality of life. The important point is that value is created not simply by using AI, but by combining AI with healthcare professionals, wearable technology, and telehealth. Mm. So our next slide is basically about target customers, what kind of customers we are targeting while launching our startup. Medlink AI has several target customer groups. Like the first is hospitals. Hospitals can use continuous monitoring to support patient and potentially identify risk earlier. And the second group is GP clinics. GP can benefit from having additional patient information available between appointments. Therefore, the third target group is our edge care providers. Continuous monitoring may be particularly valuable for people who require ongoing observation and support. And finally, the platform target patients with chronic diseases. These patients may benefit from continuous monitoring and more personalized healthcare support. Overall, organizations benefit from better patients monitoring while patients receive a more proactive approach to the healthcare. Next slide is all about the business model. The business model of all our startup, which is MedLink. MedLink basically follows a technology-based business model. The first revenue stream is a software as a service or SaaS for healthcare providers. Healthcare organization can pay to use them, MedLink AI platform. And the second revenue stream is monthly subscription. This provider recurring revenue for the business while allowing healthcare provider to access the service continuously. And the third approach is enterprise partnerships. MedLink AI could establish larger partnerships with hospitals, healthcare organizations, or healthcare providers. The combination of subscription revenue and enterprise partnerships could provide a scalable business as a startup needs to be grows. So the next slide is a competitor analysis, which is basically Apple Health, Fitbit, and our advantage of it is clinical monitoring plus compliance. So talking about our competitor, Medlink AI operates in a market where consumers already use health technology products. Two examples are already shown on the screen, which is Apple Health and Fitbit. This platform provides valuable health and fitness information, but MedLink AI aims to differentiate itself a stronger focus on clinical monitoring and compliances. According to our comparison, MedLink AI provides clinical monitoring, AI-based disease prediction, and telehealth integration. The major advantage we are proposing is therefore not simply collecting the health data. The advantage is connecting the data with healthcare professionals and healthcare focused system. This means MedLink AI is positioned as a healthcare monitoring solution rather than a simply a general health and fitness application. Our competitive advantage is therefore based on the clinical monitoring plus Australian compliance. And the next slide is all about the Australian regulatory framework. Mm. Whereas our MedLink AI operates in healthcare regulation is extremely important, there are several areas of Australian law and regulation that the business needs to consider. The first is Privacy Act 1988 and the Australian Privacy Principles, commonly known as the APPS. These are particularly important because MedLink AI will handle sensitive patient information. And the second area is the Australian consumer law, which is important for protecting consumers and ensuring that business make appropriate and accurate representations about their product and services. Third area is the Therapeutic Goods Administration or TGA. Depending on the precise functionality and claims made by the product, healthcare technology may fall within the therapeutic goods and regulation. Finally, there is my health record, which is relevant to Australians' digital health environment. Therefore, modeling AI cannot focus on the developing the technology. It must also ensure the patient information is handled securely, consumer rights are respected, and the medical safety requirements are also considered in this startup. So talking about next slide, it's a compliance. Compliance is one of the most important parts of our startup, which is again Medlink's AI business model. First, the startup needs to comply with the Australian privacy principle. Secondly, it needs the strong consent management so that person understand how their information is being collected and used in our startup. Third, information needs to be protected through encryption. The business should also follow up the principle of data minimization, meaning it should avoid collecting unnecessary personal information. And cybersecurity audits and regular security testing are also important because healthcare information is highly valuable and sensitive. Another important concept is transparent AI. Patients and healthcare professionals should be able to understand the role that AI plays in the producing alerts or recommendation. Finally, modeling AI needs a clear data breach response plan. If a security incident occurs, the business needs to respond quickly and appropriately. Therefore, compliance is not something that should be added after developing the product. It should be built into modeling AI from the beginning to the end. Slide 12 talks about the risk management of our startup. Like any technology based on healthcare startup, modeling AI faces several risks, and the first is cyber attacks. Because the platform handles healthcare information, cyber security is critical. And the second is AI bias. If AI systems are trained or designed poorly, they may reduce inaccurate or unfair outcomes regarding the health decision of our patient. And the third risk is system downtime. If the technology becomes unavailable, healthcare providers may lose access to the important monitoring information, such as our startup. And the fourth risk is legal liability. If an AI generated alert or recommendation contributes to an incorrect healthcare decision, question may arise about responsibility. This risk demonstrate why modeling AI needs strong cybersecurity, human oversight, testing, monitoring, and appropriate legal controls. So the next slide is all about our growth roadmap. The business plan to scale gradually by validating the product before expanding across the Australia, like I said before. And the first stage is going to be the 2026 MVP or minimum buy level product. And the purpose of this stage is to develop and validate the core technology. The second stage is the 2027 NSW rollout. After validating the product, the startup product to plans expand within the New South Wales. And the third stage is 2028 national expansion. This approach reduces the risk of expanding too quickly. Instead of immediately attempting to operate across Australian, Medilink AI first validates the product, then expand progressively, like I said it before too. Let's have a quick look up about our financial snapshots. So the financial model is based on the several revenue stream. This includes SaaS subscription and hospital licensing. The major cost area include AI development, cloud hosting, and cybersecurity. These costs are expected because Medlink AI is a technology and a healthcare platform, and it's going to be a bit expensive in future as well. And the presentation estimate a break-even point of 3 years. The overall financial strategy is therefore to invest heavily in developing and securing the technology initially while building recurring revenue through subscription and larger healthcare partnership. And here you go at the end of our startup presentation. It is a conclusion. To conclude, MedLink AI is an AI-powered uh, remote healthcare startup designed to address important healthcare challenges in Australia. The platform combines wearable technology, artificial intelligence, and telehealth to support continuous patient monitoring and earlier intervention. It aims to improve healthcare access, particularly for the patient who may experience difficulties accessing traditional healthcare services. The startup also has a clear value proposition throughout early detection, potential cost reduction, and improved patient outcomes. However, because this is an healthcare technology business, success depends not only on innovation but also on legal and regulatory compliance. Medlink AI therefore focuses on privacy, consent, encryption, cybersecurity, transparent AI, and risk management. Overall, Medlink AI has the potential to be an innovative, legally compliant, and scalable healthcare startup. Its key objective is simple: use technology to help healthcare providers identify risk earlier, support patients more proactively, and ultimately contribute to a better healthcare outcomes across Australia. Thank you for listening. That's the end of my presentation all about Medlink AI. Thank you.